Hey guys, how are you? It's Brad Sundberg, host and producer of In the Studio with MJ. It is August 29th, 2020. It's kind of a funny thing. I did this recording about 90 minutes ago, and not this one you're listening to, but a different one. And I got all done with it, and I was going to kind of do something special for Michael's birthday. And my computer crashed, and I just saw this, what I thought was a pretty decent take, just disappear right in front of my eyes. So I did what any normal engineer type person would do. I went downstairs and poured a glass of wine and stretched my legs for a couple minutes and came back up. Rebooted the computer, found a little problem in the mic preamp, and we're going to do it again. So I've kind of got my own audio inception going here, where I'm going to kind of do another, take another stab at it and see what happens. It's always kind of funny to do something a second time and think, gee, that first one was perfect, but not going to think about it. Michael would have been 62 years old today. It's funny, 62 used to seem like a really high number, a really old age, and unfortunately, it's just a few years older than I am now. So it doesn't seem that old, and he certainly didn't seem that old. In case you didn't know, I started working with Michael in 1984 on a project called Captain EO for Disney. And I met him at Westlake Studios. I was a runner, and Matt Forger was the engineer. And I pretty much joined the team and stayed with Michael for several years in the studio, working on projects like Bad and Dangerous and History and Blood on the Dance Floor and a little bit on Invincible. And along the way, I got to be very close with Bruce Swedien and Quincy Jones and Rod Temperton and Brad Buxer and obviously Michael Jackson. I stayed with Michael until roughly like 2003, something like that. He kept me around doing project after project after project at Neverland and on music videos and different projects that he had, and he wanted me to be involved in. And it was an amazing run, and he was a pretty amazing guy, very remarkably talented, and just somebody that you genuinely enjoyed being around. So several years ago, I started these seminars in the studio with MJ to kind of give people a glimpse into studio life and what it's like to be in a studio, and especially to be working with somebody as uniquely talented as Michael was. So through the course of those seminars, I don't even like the word seminar. It sounds so formal. I prefer the word event. Through the course of those events, I've had the opportunity to kind of hear the music through a different set of ears, to see some of these things through a different set of eyes, which is yours. When you're so close to something, it almost doesn't come into focus, and you almost have to pull back a little bit and maybe get some assistance to really see clearly. So there's a song that we worked on that people that have been to one of my events have maybe heard me kind of make fun of it a little bit, good-naturedly. But it's a song called Heal the World. And it's a song that Michael poured his heart and soul into. Michael didn't do anything halfway. If he was going to do it, he was going to go for it 190%. And Heal the World was one of those songs. And same with Bruce. Bruce Swedien is arguably the greatest recording engineer that we've ever had. And Bruce, when he recorded something, he's a master, and it was amazing to work with and assist a master at work. So we started this song called Heal the World. And this was the first time I met Brad Buxer. Brad came in to do some keyboards on Heal the World. And that's kind of where his friendship with Michael began. So Michael kind of had two Brads in his life. He had Brad Sundberg and Brad Buxer. Brad Sundberg was more the techie engineer guy. Brad Buxer was certainly more the musical director guy, arranger, songwriter, you name it. So we started working on Heal the World, and you have to understand there's so many versions to these songs, and it's not like it starts on a Tuesday and then we finish it up, a week from Thursday. It doesn't work that way in Michael World. You try things, you go down rabbit trails, and let's try this. That didn't work. Let's bring this guy in. Yeah, that was pretty good, but let's bring this other guy in. And the song grows and grows, and the song kind of calls out to someone like Michael and says, hey, we should, I think a choir would be a great addition. Maybe we should put some live strings on it. And it just grows and grows and grows. And that's what Heal the World did. Bruce and Michael had a vision for that song, and they weren't going to stop until it got to the point that it needed to be. So it's funny, when I was going to do this little post for Michael's birthday, I was thinking, maybe I should do it on video, maybe I should just grab my phone, but you kind of find yourself thinking, how's my hair look? What's behind me? What do I want people to see or not see? And you kind of get wrapped up in the visual of it. And one of the things I've learned from studios and these events is you really need to trust your ears. And I decided I'm just going to talk and, tell more what it's like to be in a studio with Michael, kind of sitting in my own little music room. And so here we are. So on a song like Heal the World, musicians and singers are kind of funny. You have to know how to treat them. And one of the things when I work with students, I teach, normally I teach quite a bit in Europe, at Abbey Road and SAE Institute, different places, and that's pretty much come to a halt in 2020, just like a lot of things have. But I try and teach young engineers how to work with a singer. And one of the things that we talk about is how to set the room and knowing who your singer is and how they're going to best perform. So someone like Michael, the number one, well, there's several number one things. It's kind of funny. But the room needs to be dark. I mean, singers do not like to sing under bright lights. They want to sing in a virtual pitch dark room, and sometimes an actual pitch dark room. So with Michael, it was pretty common that we would just have one light on the music stand, and that was it. The rest of the room was pitch black. And you have to understand, in a recording studio, the artist is usually out in what we call the tracking room or overdub room or studio, and then the engineer is in the control room. With Michael on vocal dates, there were very rarely special guests. In fact, he really preferred to do vocals with just the engineer and maybe the producer, me, whoever was working on that session. But it wasn't a party, it wasn't Especially on the Dangerous album, it was the vocal sessions were, for lack of a better word, pretty intimate. So it'd be Michael and Bruce and me, and sometimes if it was a Teddy song, Teddy might be there, or Brad Buxer might be there. But it was a pretty, it's not a day when you're going to have a bunch of friends pop in and hang out to watch Michael sing, because that makes him uncomfortable. So the room is very dark, almost pitch black, and I've done many sessions like this with Michael, so I know what he wants. He wants it to be warm. He wants a heater. So right by his feet, I'm going to have a heater, warming up the room, and he's going to want hot Evian. So I'm going to have a pot with hot Evian that he's going to be sipping on while he's singing. And I'm going to have a music stand for him and a legal pad. And so he can take notes and, change the lyrics, whatever he needs to do. And then it's go time. After his vocal warm-ups, he starts singing. And he's going to sing let me take you back a little bit further. We're not going to do lead vocals until the song is nearly finished. In other words, we've done what's called a scratch vocal. We've done the instrumentation. We've done drums, keyboards, bass, all that stuff. And then normally we've done the background vocals by now, which is layers of background vocals sung by Michael. And then we've done the choir. The undercrotch choir has already been there, and that's amazing. And this is over the course of days and days and days, not continuous. We might work on Heal the World once or twice a week. And now it's finally time for the lead vocal. So Michael, we're going to have everything ready for him. And when it's go time, man, he's going to start singing. And he's going to sing, we call them takes. So it's just take after take after take, where he's, singing basically the whole song down. He's going to, do take one, take two, take three. And so after, I'm going to say maybe, 2-3 hours, he's going to have anywhere from 18 to maybe 30, 35 lead vocal takes. And Bruce is going to record on Heal the World. I'm pretty sure we recorded all the vocals on analog. And that now we're going to do, and Michael's just going to keep going, man. I mean, he might stop for to run to the bathroom or something, but outside of that, he's a machine in the best sense of the word. So he's singing like crazy, and and it's not perfect. He's gonna start giggling, or he's gonna eat a piece of popcorn and crunch it in the mic or whatever. But that's him, and that's all part of working with him. So after all of this, he's usually pretty tired after a full day of vocals. So a day or two later, we're going to do what's called vocal comping. And what that is we're going to go back, and me or Bruce or someone is going to have created a spreadsheet. It couldn't sound more boring. The spreadsheet is going to have all the word for word, all the vocals, all the lyrics, I should say. And then it's going to have all the takes, so it's a spreadsheet. Take 1, take 2, take 3, take 4, all the way across. And so now we're going to listen to each take. So, for example, Michael might sing, Heal the World, Make It a Better Place. So we're going to listen to that on take 1. And we're going to listen to it on take 2, and listen to it on take 3, and listen to it on take 4. And all the way down. And we're going to make notes about which phrases we like the best. So maybe heal the might be amazing on take 17. World might be perfect on take 5. Me might be perfect on take 16. Kit a b might be perfect on take 3. Eder place might be perfect on take 2. And so we have all these puzzle pieces, and Bruce is probably the best of anyone I've ever seen at comping these vocals and taking these bits and pieces of vocal by vocal. And I'm exaggerating a little bit. I mean, sometimes it might be a full phrase, but sometimes we're splitting words. Michael might like better. He might like the b from take 11 and eder from take 3. And our job is to make that happen. And this is really before, I mean, we had computers, but they were just such a headache back then. It was easier just to do it manually with faders. And Bruce was a master at it. So Bruce would create these amazing vocal comps. And when it was all done, you'd listen to it and you'd swear that it was one perfect vocal that Michael had sung. And that's the technique. That's what we're trying to do. So with Heal the World, the song just went on and on and on. And Bruce would mix it and add just a teeny little bit of EQ to the to the kick drum and a little something to the vocal, and then mix it again the next day, and we'd bring in a different keyboard part or something, and I got so sick of this song I was ready to throw it out the window. And there were dozens of tapes. I mean, I'm not talking 2 or 3 tapes. I'm talking many tapes. Our tape vault was enormous. So we finally mixed the song, and I'm like, thank goodness I never have to hear this song ever again. Well, I started doing my events back in 2013, I think it was, after Michael passed away. And, and I try and bring a little bit of humor into it, and I'm kind of joking about Heal the World, and it's such a sugary, sappy song, and the little girl in the beginning, and the kind of, Heal the World, the anthem vibe that it has. And I don't want to say that I was clowning on the song, but even as I was, kind of having a bit of fun with it, I'd really start listening to it. And it's an amazing song. It's beautifully recorded. It's a gorgeous arrangement. Michael's vocals really are incredible. And I don't want to say that it hasn't become one of my favorite songs. I mean, I don't pop it in for casual listening every day, but I have a huge appreciation for it. And it's one of those things that as I've gotten further away from the minutia of making everything work and making it technically perfect, I can appreciate more of the emotion that Michael was really trying to convey. And a lot of that has to do with my guests, people that I've met in Spain and Switzerland and France and Italy and Australia and Japan and all through the U.S. People that love this song. I think someone told me that in Germany and maybe Switzerland, there's a lot of kids choirs that actually sing this song at Christmas time. It's become kind of a Christmas anthem of sorts. So in 2020, we've had no shortage of drama. And again, I don't mean that in a funny way, but between this virus that has brought so much illness and so much death and so much sadness, and destroyed the world economy, travel and industry. It's a rough year. It's been a very difficult year on a lot of levels. In the U.S., we've seen a lot of, I don't even know what word I should use, but a lot of division, I'll say. and a lot of tension. And I'm an optimist. I never want to. I don't give up, but there's a lot of brokenness right now and a lot of pain. So it's a song that I think is important, and it's a song that I think is timeless. And it's kind of funny. I was going through some of my tapes earlier today, and here we were working on "Heal the World" in 1991. And we're coming up on, my goodness, 31 years, 30 years since we started working on that song. And the world's not a whole lot better. So for obvious copyright reasons and not wanting to be thrown off Facebook, I can't play it for you, but you can certainly find it. You probably own it. So give "Heal the World" another chance. Give it a good listen. Close your eyes. Get a good set of speakers or some headphones. I'm not a big earbud fan, but to each his own. And give it a listen. I'm grateful for the friendship I had with this guy, and I miss him. I think about him every day. I honestly do. I miss you guys. This being locked away and not being able to do events. We should have been in Brussels this weekend. We should have had, 14, 16 events behind us this year already. And as it turned out, all we could do was Miami, and then we had to shut down for the year. So I can't let myself get twisted up about it. I can't let myself get depressed. We're going to come back. I think 2021, I'm hoping, is going to be almost like the reunion year, kind of a celebration year where I can see so many, dear friends again and make new friends and bring people into the studio and let them kind of experience what I had the privilege of experiencing for so many years. So hang in there, stay safe, stay strong. Pray for our world. Pray for our leaders. Pray that this virus can once and for all be smashed down and sent to wherever it needs to go. And I pray for peace, for that hard hearts would be softened. And I learned from a guy by the name of Michael that anger really doesn't get you anywhere. In fact, it's kind of funny when my computer crashed earlier and I lost the audio. I thought about a session on a song called "I Just Can't Stop Loving You," and we were doing the international versions. We were doing the Spanish version, and I don't want to say any names. I don't want to make anybody feel bad. It's years ago. It doesn't matter anymore. But we had an engineer that completely accidentally erased a bunch of Michael's lead vocal tracks. And Michael had spent a lot of time trying to sing that song in Spanish. And this poor guy, the tracks were just gone. And when you're recording the tape, there's no undo button. It's just gone. And I think I'm the one that had to break the news to Michael. And he kind of, you could see, a little bit of frustration on his face, but I don't remember his exact words, but basically it was, well, let's do it again. And he took a sip of hot Evian, and we did it again, and it turned out amazing. So maybe that's what we have to do with once we're past this year is take a sip of water and just say, let's do it again. So I miss my friend. I am grateful for the memories that I was able to share with him and the laughter. I don't look at the passing as much as I look at the gratitude of the body of work that he left, the generosity that he had, the humor that he had, and that's where I prefer to stay. So, as I said, stay safe. I look forward to seeing you, hearing from you. We've got a few surprises that we're working on. We announced one of them earlier today. But in the meantime, happy birthday, Michael. You are greatly missed. And I hope to see the rest of you soon back in the studio with MJ. Take care.